Today I'm going to demonstrate how to make French toast. You're each going to make your own slice of French toast, but as a group you'll work together to put the batter together that you dip the bread in. The recipe first calls for 2 eggs. You're going to take the 2 eggs and you're going to do this into a flat dish because you want to be able to flatten your bread in that batter, and it works best if it's a flat dish. So crack 1 egg and 2. Try not to get any egg shell in there. If you do, you can use a spoon to fish it out. We're going to add to that a tablespoon of sugar. Sugar is in the canister on your counter in the kitchen. Remembering that we are overfilling the device, the tablespoon in this case, and leveling off with a straight edge spatula. And I did the sugar first so that my measuring spoon is dry, because next I want to put in 2 tablespoons of milk. Pour very slowly so you have control.
Do you want me to start, or do you want me to wait?
Go ahead. And then I also need to have 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. 1/4 of a teaspoon is the smallest spoon you have on your ring, but it's the same concept. I'm going to overfill it and level it off. At this point you can either use a fork to stir this, and I always break the yolks first and stir like that, or you can have a little more fun with this and use our rotary or hand beater to do the same thing. There's not a whole lot of batter. You got to move it around a lot. It's not real smooth, so you can decide which one you want to mess with. I'm going to stop this because I choose to use the fork. If you have a wire whisk at home, I'd also use that. We just don't have any in our lab. But mix it up until you don't have big chunks of cinnamon, you don't have chunks of yolk and chunks of white, that it's all evenly mixed together. Each kitchen has a nice big griddle that you can cook all of your French toast at once. You can fit probably 10 slices on here. Your kitchen will make 5 slices or 4 slices, 1 slice per person. You take your bread, and this is kind of a trick that I've learned. Take 2 pieces of bread because you're going to dribble egg, and this will kind of protect your countertop. Take a piece of bread, dip it on one side, pull it out, dip it on the other side, pull it out, and let it drip off a little bit so there's more batter for other people. Cut. Stop. Okay. Before you put your bread on the griddle, you need to spray the griddle so your bread doesn't stick. You're going to use your non-stick cooking spray again and put a light coating on it. And you want to wait until your griddle is hot enough to do what cooks call have water sizzle and dance on it. So I'm going to take a drop of water and just spray it on the pan. And it's not sizzling, it's not doing anything. So I'm going to wait until this heats up more. Okay. There is a dial on the end of your griddle. You need to have the red dot turned to 375, which is halfway between 350 and 400. I'm going to take a drop of water. Toss it on there. It's sizzling and dancing. Now I know the griddle is hot enough to brown my bread. If it's not hot enough, it won't brown and it will look pale and doughy. So I'm going to take my bread and just lay it on there. I'll do 2 simply because I have the egg already on this one. Let the excess drip off. I'm going to let that cook until it browns on the bottom. It takes about a minute, and then I'm going to use a turner to turn them. With these non-stick griddles, do not use a metal turner or you'll scrape the nice black surface. Make sure it's a plastic or a black turner. If it ever starts to smoke, you know it's too hot and you need to turn your heat down. I'm just going to peek under a corner and see if it's browned. Not quite. Okay, I peeked under a corner and it looks brown, so I'm going to slide all the way underneath with the head of my pancake turner. I kind of gave it a shove and just flip it over. Now if I were cooking for a big family, I could fit 10 on here and I would flip all 10, but each one of you should be coating, frying, and flipping each one of your own piece of French toast. When it's browned on the bottom, it's ready to eat. You can take it off the griddle and put it on your plate. And that is how you make French toast.